Hi, we're the Traveling Teeps fam. Today we're in Stonehenge. Come with us, we'll show you a realistic view of what it's like to travel as a family. And we got about an hour drive or so, even though we're only about 20 miles. So, American family on the road always. Today's adventures, England. Come on. So we're all in the car, ready to head out, getting used to a right-hand drive still. And roundabouts, anytime there's an intersection, which I actually didn't know. I knew there was a lot, but not nearly that many.
Roundabout.
That's right. So we are headed to Stonehenge. Guys, how old is Stonehenge?
3000 BC, I think, is where it was built.
So if it was 3000 BC, and now we're over 2000 after that, how old is Stonehenge?
Really? 5000.
Very good. Let's go check it out. So as we're on our drive today, we'll try to answer a few questions or share a few experiences that we've had in the last day and a half of driving. So we did about 4 hours in the car yesterday from London all the way down to the coast, over through Southampton and back up towards Bath. It is not the most direct route, but we wanted to see the coastline and we wanted to see Southampton. Home of where the Titanic took off. We did have a beautiful lunch on the bay there, so you can check out that video. But a few things when you're driving. We did see a sign recently on our way to Bath that says that in the city center there is a clean air charge. So of course we want to look that up, make sure that you're prepared if you're driving here. And the clean air charge does not apply to individual vehicles. So if you're in a van or a bus or semi-trucks delivering goods, they charge for that. But for your individual car or motorbike, you would be fine. So don't stress too much when you see those signs. Don't ignore the route and drive around. You'll be good. A couple other things, you will see, you know, a lot of roads that are really only wide enough for one car, but on them there'll be a sign with a big arrow and a little arrow, and one's red and one's white, and that tells you, depending on which side of the car you're on, who has the priority. And everyone's very patient. They're, you know, work your way through it. So it has been very interesting driving here. It's quiet to drive here. There's not a whole lot of horns. Like, you really have to piss someone off is what I've learned from the locals here. They don't rely on their horns much. So it's been a pleasant experience. Anything to add for driving?
I definitely think if you have a few people with you, or if you want to come and see some of the off the beaten path locations, or even Stonehenge, it would be a lot cheaper for you likely to rent a car, to drive down, see Stonehenge and drive back to London than it would be to get on one of the tours. And then on top of that, you're not on their schedule. You're not rushed down, you're not rushed in, you're not rushed out. You get to pick where you have lunch and what you want to do. A lot of times on the tours, because we've done a few and some of them are great, but it just feels like, it's like, okay, we're here, everyone meet back here in 30 minutes. And if in 30 minutes you haven't seen what you want to see, you're just out of luck.
Plus, I wonder on days like today, so we're in kind of heavy traffic right now. There's a road closure in every direction to get to Stonehenge. We tried it from the other way yesterday and didn't make it before
Real
close.
quick, I don't think the traffic, well, I know this traffic has nothing to do with that closure, just so you know. We'll hit more traffic.
I'm sure we'll get close, but the point is, and this is what I was getting at, traffic happens, road closures happen. So if you're on a bus in a limited time and you're 30 minutes behind because of the road closure on your way into Stonehenge, then that really would mess you up. So at least having a car, we have a little bit of flexibility, because like yesterday was on the itinerary and we did not make it. So Stonehenge is open until 7 p.m. in the summers, but they cut off entry at 5 because you do have to walk from the visitor center out into the field where the stones are. And so they give you time to do that, explore, and then turn back. So definitely is something to consider and make sure you pay attention to. Do not try to go after 5 p.m. You won't get in. And in the winter, they close, I think, at 5. And so the last entry is at 3.
And if this traffic is the Stonehenge traffic, then it's gonna take like 2.5 hours to get to Stonehenge.
So we've made it. This is the car park for the Stonehenge Visitor Center. Stunning surroundings. So we decided to join the National Heritage Foundation while we're here. We bought a family pass that gets us not only into Stonehenge for free, but also a ton of castles that we have on our to-see list anyway. So it's definitely a good idea to look into. There are 2 passes you might want to consider while you're in town. One is the English Heritage, which is what we did. The other is the National Trust. They'll give you free access to different sites, and you can see their websites and like, which is a great place to explore if you have a place in mind already and you want to know if it's included. Once you go to 2 places, pretty much it's more than paid for itself. So we are here. We're gonna get into the visitor center and then we'll share some more. So we're here at the ticket area. They do, like anywhere throughout where we've been in the UK, that you pre-book your tickets. That way they can kind of pay attention to crowds, things like that. However, there are day of tickets, not a big deal. And once you have a family like us, we decided to do the English Heritage, because by the time we do just this site, it would be about the same price. And then we do all the castles after that for free. So there's a lovely little membership office. We got our wristbands. Let's see your wristband.
Oh, and today in the English Heritage, we get to build a playground to play on.
They just this week opened up a new place called Stonehenge. So after we go up, have a picnic, we'll come and let the kids play around a little. We'll check that exhibition out. So there is a little cafe here. So if you're on the bus, there is food. It smells delightful. But they also allow you to bring in food. So we have our picnic with us today. We're pretty excited for that. To sit up on an ancient site, have a little snack. So my favorite. Yay! We should buy soup to go with it because it smells amazing. And then they have this whole play area here for the kids for when we get on back. We opted not to take the bus out. We walked about a half mile, took our shoes off, did some grounding.
It was nice. The grass is very soft. There's wild flowers everywhere. It's
Beautiful time of year to take the walk.
The air's clean. We're lucky.
So
it's
gorgeous.
Not too hot, not too cold. It's slightly overcast, but I guess we're pushing about 65 to 68 degrees.
So you'll see where this caravan is behind us, or RV, depending on where you're watching from. You can drive. This is an old military road. We learned a dirt road. There's a ton of cars down further, and you can camp there for up to 24 hours. You can park. However, if you're in a rental vehicle on that military
or any vehicle for that matter.
Well, any vehicle. What we were told is it does not get covered by your car insurance, and you can't get someone to come tow you. So if you're in a vehicle where you're concerned about that, divots in the road, especially in inclement weather, it would definitely be a risk. However, the payoff might be amazing because you can see the stones beyond the people right here. So you could go to sleep watching the sun go down by the stones, which would be pretty spectacular. So just a little info should you decide to try that instead. Once you get up to the site, there are plenty of places to picnic. Like we said, it's highly encouraged. We're eating some biscuits right by the stones, which is a pretty amazing experience. They do have a circle that you can walk around them. There's an audio guide. I actually did download the app for the audio guide. And then we've just been enjoying so much that we haven't listened. So maybe we'll have to go through and do that after. There are tons of people, but everything moves through pretty clear. Like, everyone takes turns having spots for pictures. I did hear a guy saying,
though, this is not a busy time. So we're here in May. Usually for most Europeans, that summer vacation kicks off in June. And so if you can make it outside of like June to the end of August, you're not going to have near the crowds. Your weather may not be as, I don't know though, maybe it's better because it's not so hot.
That's true.
But we have been told by many of the locals that this is very unseasonably nice weather.
Yes,
so I don't know.
Beautiful.
Usually, rain and a little colder. But I feel great out here.
It is really nice.
Fantastic. Lots of grounding going on.
Yes, we always try to take off our shoes. We were just talking, we grounded in Egypt last year, Stonehenge this year. What's for next year's grounding spots? It is a really amazing spot. It's beautiful to walk around. They have plaques all over describing different things. You can go inside the stones, but it takes a special tour for that. They book out months in advance, so you'll want to make sure that you
Did she tell
your
you how to
ticket there.
check for cancellations?
Yeah, it's just on their website. They actually have a really like intuitive website, and their tours are booked through there. But like she said, they book at least 3 months in advance, more for summer season. You can pick up last minute. Like if you're a week out, you can check for cancellations or
What
people
about even day
who are
of?
no
Could you
show.
jump on the morning of your
She said-
visit to see?
Yeah,
Be worth trying.
yeah. If you're gonna come later in the morning, that would give you time to get in on one of the tour groups. So really, really enjoy. The employees here are fantastic, super helpful, and this has been.
And if you have the Heritage Pass, I feel like you get an extra level of kindness. Like they're very nice anyway.
Think so?
Oh yeah, because like when you saw him, he was like really nice at the gate. Like, oh, I see your members. of the
That's true. They
Heritage.
do get excited
because
about
they use all the money that you give when you get your Heritage Pass is a donation basically to the organization to keep these monuments up and stuff. And so I think the employees really appreciate it, and yeah, so I think it's a great way to go.
We were incredibly fortunate to be at Stonehenge while the Playhenge was set up. They had different groups of school kids coming through, and the kids get to lead all of the building and creativity for these. They make sure that they're structurally sound, and then you can add whatever you want. They give them power tools, they gave them saws, and the adults are only there to do as the kids instruct them to, and it was phenomenal. My kids have been begging to find a park and do something like this in the States. Thanks for joining us at Stonehenge. Make sure that you click like and subscribe. Leave us a quick comment if you're planning to visit Stonehenge. And if these tips helped you out, please follow us for more travel content.